everyone, this is Voice of Satellite Industry TV channel. My name is Ksenia Drozdova, and I am the chairperson of the Operations Committee of IOSC Intersputnik. We're continuing our cycle of video interviews with top management of the organization's Operations Committee member companies. My guest today is Yuryi Nikolaevich Chernyi, General Director of Republican Production Unitary Enterprise, Precise Electromechanics Factory, and operator of Belintersat 1 satellite. Good afternoon, Yuryi Nikolaevich. Good afternoon. Before we begin our conversation, I would like to say some words about the Belintersat project. Belintersat spacecraft is the first national geostationary communication and broadcasting satellite of the Republic of Belarus. The satellite was created with participation of the Chinese industrial corporation Great Wall and launched in 2016 to the orbital slot on 51.5 degrees east. It provides the full range of state-of-the-art services in C and Ku bands and operates in Europe, Africa, and also in Asia, providing global coverage of the entire Eastern Hemisphere. Before going on directly to questions, I would like to introduce our guest. Yuryi Nikolaevich Chernyi graduated from Smolensk Higher Engineering School in 1992. He served in the armed forces of the Republic of Belarus and was a team commander and a battery commander. In 2001, he graduated from the Military Academy of the Republic of Belarus and continued working in the Academy's research section, where he headed the sector of military research. Since 2015, Yuryi has been working at the Republican Production Unitary Enterprise, Precise Mechanics Factory, where he held the positions from leading engineer and deputy chief designer to the chief executive officer of the enterprise. And in 2020, he was appointed director of the factory. Candidate of Technical Sciences, awarded Irreproachable Service Medal of the 3rd class. Yuryi, my first question will be, as we are now smoothly going over to the project of Belintersat, which is the most interesting for us. The Belintersat project is the youngest among the national communication satellites of CIS countries, but many people are talking about it already. It has managed to take its place among the regional satellite operators of Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. And in addition to the satellite itself, unique ground infrastructure has been created, allowing to provide a wide range of telecommunication services. Your company operates on the domestic as well as on the international market, and you have gained great success in Africa. Tell us, please, how are you planning to develop the project? What promising markets do you see? Is your future associated with only one satellite, or are you planning a second spacecraft? Please explain in detail. This is very interesting. Dear Ksenia, thank you for your question. As you correctly pointed out, only since 2012, the Republic of Belarus has been among the 70 countries that operate Earth artificial satellites. Thanks to this project, jointly with the Chinese company, we, so to say, joined the club of space powers. This is reflected on the governmental level, also by the head of state, as an achievement of our young republic. Currently, our national space fleet, in quotes, as we call it, is of course represented by a single communication satellite, Belintersat, which is the key element of the infrastructure. In 2021, it will be only 5 years since the launch of the satellite to the Earth orbit. So, as we are a young company, we make no decisions and do not pursue aggressive policy to conquer any markets for our services. We perfectly understand that at this stage, our basic pillar is the talent pool. We have young professional workers with the average age below 30, approximately. All these people have been trained also by the companies with whom the satellite was launched and are collaborating closely with various companies to adopt the experience from your organization as well as the entire corporation. Our main bet is on the training of workforce at our base in our republic. To that end, we are closely cooperating with all leading Belarusian colleges. We are carefully escorting precious specialists whom we screen out at the time of accession to those colleges, for whom we organize side trips and ending to all hands-on training courses during their study at our premises. At the same time, singling people out by their potential of what key positions they could take at our enterprise. So, in spite of the higher education, we conduct the full scope of practical measures to train those specialists, even at their time in college. We do the strict screening of specialists, and I can tell you that not all, even more than not all, of the applicants will come to our enterprise. However, in the Republic of Belarus, this segment is seen by the young people as a promising one. Many are trying their best to get employed in this field, the specifics of our enterprises. And we take every effort to retain the specialists we have, the new young professionals, and to keep the specialists who have been trained at the initial stage of the satellite formation. So, the first priority of our policy is our in-house personnel who will be specialists with a capital S in this field. As for your question, what areas we will see as promising, well, it's hard to say because you, as a specialist, understand that this is conditioned by plenty of factors and depends not only on our wishes and capabilities, but also on global trends of development of the whole space communication segment. Foretelling those trends is not easy. As I say, we do not mean to be aggressive, and we try to use as much as possible the experience of your companies and other companies, and also what is open for us in the mass media. Though the satellite communication area is not so closed as various other developments, thanks to all the specialists that they are open in the press, open at conferences, open in personal contacts, and we always find a rational kernel in talking, what we can use. Of course, the global trends are now showing that the satellite application market will be shrinking and the competition will only grow. Certainly, players with a big capital are allowed to the market, who can provide a great number of satellites and the upkeep of such infrastructure. The task of our operators, as I see them, are to keep searching for mutually beneficial cooperation and partnership with various integrator companies who can give us advice and help implement all the technical solutions we currently have. For the purpose of getting the best opportunities from our project, we see the development outlooks. These are, of course, connection of users on the basis of the teleport, our ground system, and further professional growth of our team in this area. To the question whether we plan to get more satellites in the future to optimize our performance, well, we're working real hard on that matter, discussing the issue with your specialists and with others too. At this moment, we're working out all the options that would be optimal for developing our communication system. Therefore, we consider the possibility of creating a new satellite on new technology platforms consistent with the cutting-edge technologies with great promising potential. And we also consider the possibility of the option of simply leasing the capacity of our spacecraft. Depending on the option we choose, it will be important that, as the result, the Belarusian space communication system not to become an occasional segment on the market. We convincingly adopt the policy to stay on that market to raise our potential. But in what symbiosis this line will be, there is no final decision at this stage so far. It's all seen from the standpoint of how the things will be going on the market, what service process will be there, what costs of development and launch of the new spacecrafts, and what new lines of action we will be able to get within this segment. So, I repeat, we say it's steadfast. Today we're working out all possible options of the strategy development, analyzing all benefits and drawbacks of all systems, trying to get a sort of synthesis based on the analysis. Well, thank you very much for your really detailed answer, Yuri Nikolaevich. And there is my next question. It chimes partially with what you just said. Look, when it comes to the modern business models of spacecrafts, it is common when several operators combine their efforts to create new projects. For instance, there are examples like ours of RSCC jointly with Eutelsat. We have made in partnership the satellite AMU-1. Azure Cosmos works by the cooperative model only. Two satellites, Azure Space 1 and Azure Space 2, have been created in partnership with Miasat and Intelsat. Actually, my question is this. Does Belintersat consider the possibility of cooperative model for the creation of further satellites? And if you do, can the cooperative model influence the expansion of your current service offer? That is, are you ready to reach beyond the domestic market, to make some representatives abroad? And how can Intersputnik help you here? Namely, as an international organization. Undoubtedly, all our promising lines of action will be connected with the development not of us individually, but in the segment of the whole corporation, all players of the market. We understand that no one can stand individually in the system. Unfortunately, as I already pointed to my specialists today, I don't know if it is just us or the whole system. There are no clear modeling systems that would consider all factors and calculate some risks or promising trends. They all come down to rhetoric business plans, business strategies. Maybe it is worth thinking, engaging the science potential to develop a kind of mathematical model for the calculation of the satellite market segment, a modeling system that can provide a single package to load some input data, promising to get a certain, real or perspective state of things. Clearly, a satellite system, or this area in general, is high-tech, developed field, but so far I couldn't get an answer that something can be computed in a model. This is the topic of discussion on how your corporation can help. If you have a modeling system that calculates some business strategy and plan, it would be great if you could share it, so that every operator could load their input data and see the effects of the external factors as well as interactions, the influence of the interaction, and the system of key elements and players. Perhaps that could be a line of development to provide a common model by which all players would compute the real benefit of participating in some joint project. So far, it all works at the level of convincing the specialist and at the level of dry words. It would be nice to switch to the language of an engineer, not an economist. Well, I think that this is an ideal model, so to say. But we both understand that we are competitors to a certain degree, and to create a unique 3D model able to compute probabilities with multiple factors, well, this is an individual, not collective task. Unless, of course, Intersputnik creates the model for itself, for the members, but then it will be property of the organization. Probably so. I agree from the standpoint of corporate policy, but let's take a simple example. All teams that play soccer are competitors, but they do the same thing: develop the soccer. And with the development of soccer, everyone gets for his team the money he can earn. And developing the common line, I mean soccer, as a team, even of promising and classy players, it costs nothing to itself. So there are always hockey leagues, soccer leagues, you know. We have already created a league with you. What's left is to mend ties with advertisers who would, and um, and learn to make money on selling related commodities. I like that idea of yours. It's got the point. Every soccer club has a fan club, and in general, the fans are fostered by a common program. Do you see? Chants are adopted, fan walks are adopted, behavior at soccer and hockey stadiums are adopted. So we have the same cohorts, the same users, and of course, we should speak about a certain consolidated policy of working with users. Well, we're gradually coming to, how to say, to our common club we share with you. The club is called Intersputnik Operations Committee, where we and you are playing in the same league and in the same group. My question is, Intersputnik, in addition to its commercial activities, is also a unique international platform for cooperation and joint ventures of member countries and members of Operations Committee. We have a development program approved for the support of attractive projects. Considering that Belintersat is greatly interested in operating on international scale and you have a very strong production basis, how how do you think, in your opinion, how can an organization within the approved development program or for the expansion of the development program be useful to Belintersat in achieving your goals? And can, for example, our abilities in terms of the orbital and frequency resources be attractive for you? Yes, Ksenia. We, at the very beginning, I said that Intersputnik is an organization with great history and huge experience, and we keep a good watch on your behavior and your lines of activity from the standpoint of adopting what is useful for us. We closely cooperate with you, and our experience sharing workers made trips to Russia on invitation by Intersputnik. We are very glad there is such a reliable and proven partner. We never make any single decision or a single step so that to restrict the communication with you or to collapse our activity in any way. No, despite all those coronavirus measures, now that we are working on the directions of our business strategy of the whole enterprise for the year 2021, we definitely will plan joint meetings, sharing our experience, and visiting to your organization in 2021. I would like, after all, to see you in person, to shake your hand for the help you provide us, and share some of your experience, know-hows, maybe even some, don't know how to build a phrase properly, crazy assumptions and proposals, but nevertheless, exerting creativity of mind, we can come to some real, tangible line of action. As for the as I said, that we keep an interested eye on your program development. We know there is an investment fund with cheap external financing that helps you with the development of business in our area and in the organization members. We analyze it all carefully, and I can positively say that in the next year, we will submit our bids to your tenders because we've got ideas, partners, and sources of additional financing. Besides, extra funding will be useful for us too, in the framework of those projects. So, we partnering with Intersputnik is only, and having relations with you is only strengthening our positions and the positions of our projects. Yuri, thank you for such a thorough conversation. And let me, from our operations committee, thank you for your time. We will definitely take into account all your recommendations when drawing up proposals in the development strategy of the organization and are always ready to listen to any wishes that we could develop for the benefit of participants and members of our organization. Therefore, I wish you and your colleagues good contracts, promising projects, and all of us close cooperation. Goodbye. Thank you so much. It was very good to see you. I wish you good health, material well-being, moral satisfaction from the work done, and the best words and thanks to your employees who are behind the scenes. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.